Hello, good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day. I always think about Mr. Rogers when I say that. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Good morning, Pastor Lonnie Hernan. Good to have you on. Philadelphia in the house. Good morning. Good morning, Sister Lolita. Franklin in the house. I see the shares. Thank you so much for the shares, Minister Bazemore, brother, sister, what's that? Rawlins, Belinda. Hello, good morning, Sister Keisha. Good morning, Sister Bugs. Good morning, Ruben, Northern Virginia. Mimi, hey, good morning. Deacon Jones, good morning. Pastor Jones, good morning. I appreciate that. Realtor Hayspade, good morning. Sister Venus, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Glad to have everybody on again. Good morning. Blind 58, that looks like, I can't see the picture. Sister Cynthia, good morning. Miss Mag, good morning. Hey. Hey, Aunt Val, good morning. Jazzy Lady, good morning to you. Hey, Sister Angela. Okay, now I got it. I didn't know the username. I got it now. Good morning, Sister Phyllis. Good morning. And thank you, guys. Let me say thank you so much for everybody who supported Reverend Jay and Witt on yesterday. They ranked 10 out of 233 nonprofit organizations, raised a little over $9,000, and won a couple of bonuses, a couple of $1,000 bonuses that were matching gifts to the gifts that have been given. And so we'll get the final stats later in June. But I want to say thank everyone for contributing and giving to that campaign. Thank you. Hey, let's jump into our scope today. We are still in Matthew 4, and we are looking at entrepreneurship. It is a little cold outside, but everybody who's familiar with December 4th, 1906 understands that the cold really doesn't even matter. Ice, ice. That was just a quick frat shout out. Look, let's kind of go ahead and get started with today. We're in Matthew 4. And in Matthew 4, we have Jesus, recruiting disciples again. First Peter and Andrew, and then he has James and John. Today we want to focus on what I want to talk about as legacy. Again, we talk about entrepreneurship, particularly if you're running organizations, businesses, launching organizational businesses, or maybe your business again is your health, trying to take care of it, or caretaker for a loved one, or managing the home, or maybe your business is parenting. Whatever it is you put time and energy into, consider that the business for today's entrepreneurship lesson. And I thought it interesting that Jesus, who we know and believe is indeed the Son of God, is now recruiting people to help him. He's hiring people to help him do what his Father has called him to do, right? So God sends Jesus, his son. This is the same Jesus that around 12 years old is in the temple, and Mary and Joseph are looking for him. And he says, didn't you know that I had to be about my Father's business, right? He's carrying out what his Father had asked him to do. And strangely enough, when he gets ready to recruit these second set of disciples, James and John, the Bible says they are actually in a ship with their father Zebedee. In order to follow Jesus, they have to leave that ship, leave Zebedee to follow Jesus. And today I really want to focus more on James, John, and Zebedee, because I really believe that in any good business or any good organization, you should have in mind, you should plan with the foresight that this business will leave a legacy. But look, Zebedee is now training his sons, James and John, to carry out their father's business. Matter of fact, when they separate from Zebedee and I'll say franchise his father's business, start working with Jesus and enhance what Zebedee had taught them, the Bible says that Jesus doesn't strip them of their prior identity. He reinforces it. He comes back to them and says, you guys will be known as the sons of thunder. Because even Jesus understands that there's some value in having legacy. Here's my question today. How is your business or organization set up to last long after you're unable to operate it? What is in place? What structures are in place? What What binders do you already have that show your system, your history, and the evolution of your programs? Because one of the things I've noticed, good morning, is that every good business is set up to have some after, right? There's the now and later. Do well now so that later somebody can pick up and do well then. And I wonder if you thought about where your business would be 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. Who are the interns, or who are those coming alongside and or behind you that you're training and teaching to do what your job is? Some of you guys are in ministry and you're doing well, but you're not going to be in that ministry forever. You won't always be the chair of the ushers or the greeters or the choir, or you won't always be mobile enough to do the dancing. Who are you training, teaching to pick up where you left off? Who are your James and John? Here's the key. If we all operate our businesses like Zebedee, train, James and Johns, and I'll talk a little bit about it later, when we talk about family. But if you train the James and John, then you actually provide Jesus something he can work with. We often, frown upon churches that are family centered, rural churches, and we'll say things like, well, a family runs that church. And I understand that could be problematic for leaders who are going in trying to implement new things. However, if you look at the Old Testament, God set it up so that they were split by tribes, and tribes or families had particular functions. The Levitical tribe, better yet, the Levitical family, passed down the taking care of the temple. The tribe of Judah, it doesn't just mean praise, but that family was one who engaged in constant praise. What is it that your family, your tribe, will be known for? What business will you pass down to those who are connected to you? What traits, what skills, what wisdom, what knowledge will you be in the business of passing down? Zebedees, who are your James and Johns? And I know you think, well, I don't have them yet. I don't know who they are. Find them. For some of you, it'll be biological. For others of you, it'll be God bringing family members. Did you notice that even Moses, who seemed to be an outcast at first, reconnected with Aaron and his sister when they took the children of Israel from captivity into what would be promised land? Because there's always something beneficial about planning your business to have legacy. It should be greater than now. Matter of fact, if you ask me, I probably argue that there is no God-sized assignment that one person can accomplish in one generation. If God has given it to you, if God has implanted it in you, if it's something that you really believe God has called you to, then you should already be considering who the legacy will be, what the legacy looks like, how this carries out. Every Moses has a Joshua, every Zebedee has a James and John, and even Jesus, after carrying out his God assignment, Jesus, after doing what his Father had called him to do, completes his work by saying, greater works will you do to come after me than what I've already done. Listen, put some systems in place. Write down what you're doing. Clearly define your function, because Zebedee, James, and John are going to be needed to carry out your work, and then franchise it to the next level to carry out Jesus's work. Hope you guys are benefiting from our All Aboard series. I'm asking if you jump on this ship with us. This is the entrepreneurship that's sailing all of us into greater places. A good father leaves an inheritance for his children. And if God has called you to spiritually parent or biologically parent anyone, then it's a good thing. It's a good idea. It would be beneficial. It'd be advantageous for you to start looking at how you can leave a legacy. Be blessed and have a great day.